This is Control Your Narrative, where we will control our own narrative. Today's video, we're going to talk on failure because we all go through failure. Failure in life, failure at maybe activities in our lives, failure as in maybe our personality. But we all go through failure in life. Everyone has failed at something. Although they say, I'm not a failure, I don't fail. Well, that's a lie because we all go through failure. One of mine in the past few years was being a drummer for my the church I go to, and I'm not a person that is naturally gifted as a musician. I didn't pick things up so easily. It took me a while. I drummed for like an hour and a half to 2 hours the first time I got drums. And I kept practicing every day. About 2 hours in the morning, hour and a half in the evening. I kept that up for about 6 months. I remember I thought I was doing it wrong. I was drumming wrong the first time. But what my brother told me is just take some Tylenol because my head was like throbbing the first time after that whole time. And drummers will tell you that, that's just part of it. But that was not natural to me. And after a couple of weeks, I was still not getting it. I was trying to learn a beat that my pastor taught me. I just wasn't getting it. Well, because I'm not natural, I felt like giving up. I thought I'd fail, but I just kept going. Well, there's a lot of people who are like that. Like athletes. They're gifted in their sports. Like Michael Jordan. He started in 1984 in the NBA. And he didn't win his first world champion until 1991. So that's almost 8 seasons of failing to get to the big time and to win. But what did that take? That took a lot of failing seasons to finally get the win. Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes a while. Maybe we're learning something. Maybe we went through a lot of failures, but we got to keep on going. Learn something from our failures. What I learned from my failure in drumming was I got to make a little couple of movements right. Maybe do some, like, keep on studying music. So I started listening to more music, country music, rock music, and I tried to pick up a beat from those songs. Then I tried imitating those beats. So later on, when I went back to church, I gotten a little better. My pastor said, "You're getting better every week," because I've been practicing nearly 6 to 7 days a week because I went to church twice on Sundays. So I was getting better. I failed at mentoring people. I failed at, because it's hard for me to, it used to be hard for me to relate to people. I have this kind of robotic actions, or it's just like when I used to talk to people, it would come out robotic. And I would just tell them do the same thing because that's what I was used to. Weightlifters or people in the gym, if you know their personality, they come off robotic because they're used to discipline. They're used to a routine, and that's what I was used to. Even my bosses told me that back in the day. It's like I used to be a bagger, and I used to ask the customer, "Hi, how are you? Would you want that in a paper sack or a grocery bag?" Gro- I would bag for them. Then I'd say, "Would you like help out today? Have a great day." But it was becoming routine to say those same things over and over. Even my teacher, my English teacher, uh, and I'll just call him Mr. Kelly for this video. And he told me that I was coming off as like a machine, just doing the same thing over and over. So he took me aside and told me, write something that you love to do, or something, which was bodybuilding at that time. And he told me I got my first A because I did something. I wrote a paper I was more passionate about. But sometimes we got to put some passion in something so we can not fail so much. Maybe you're a father and you failed. There's a lot of parents that fail. Maybe a mother that failed at talking to your kids. And you just give off the generic, keep doing good, go to school, and all that. But what we can do is put some passion behind that. That's what I was missing when I was drumming. I was not putting in that passion in my musical practices. When I was talking to people, I wasn't putting in the passion that I had as a Christian. I wasn't putting in that passion. I remember when I started mentoring my brother in life, I was doing something different. I added a little bit more passion because I did not want him to fail in life. So I put in that passion. Michael Jordan. Maybe he was on a routine in the first 8 years or 7 years before he won the championship. I know he had a little bit of passion in that. But maybe he wanted it just that much more. So he put on that much more passion in his practices. But we all got to put a little passion in whatever we're doing to succeed. So we're not failing. That's the thing I learned in my own personal life. That sometimes you got to put in that passion. Even musical singers are gifted. They have to put in that passion. Because if you don't put in that passion in something, you're not going to be doing it long term. And if you watch my YouTube videos, I put myself on a routine like in the beginning, so I could just get in a routine. But I wanted to put off some passion in what I'm doing. So if you're failing a lot and you think that a lot of people are not failing, it's probably because they're passionate about that. They don't want to fail and they're learning. That's another thing. We got to learn from our mistakes so we don't keep on failing. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, my brother and my parents have a better relationship," or my parents treat my siblings better." But the person that keeps on screwing up is not learning from their mistakes. I learned that from my mistakes. I had a bad relationship with my father, my dad, because I wasn't learning from my mistakes. I was just going on a routine again. Like, oh, he has a better relationship with my other brothers and my sister because of this. What I learned was that it was pride. I had to learn that pride was getting in my way. That's why my relationship with my dad kept failing. So that's something I learned. So learn from your mistakes when you're working on something. Maybe you're a drummer. Maybe you're at school. Learn from your mistakes. And maybe put a little more passion in your grades, in your school, at work. It may just be a job to you, but make it a career. Make it a passion. And things will happen a lot more. You won't fail as much. That's why I'm going to use Michael Jordan. He had so much passion for basketball that he won 6 NBA championships. So that's what we can do, and that's what we can take from this video is that we can put some passion and that we can learn from our mistakes so we're not failures. I admit I've been a failure. I have a lot more failures. And these failures got me angry. It took me down a road I didn't want to be. I was getting mad at people that were maybe trying to help me, or people that didn't even know that I was feeling this way, but I was upset. I was getting upset at the world. I failed at church. I failed in friendships. I failed at drumming. But that hurt me. I was down for a while. When I backslid as a Christian, it took me out for 2 years. My pride from failing with my relationship with my dad was it took me out almost 27 years because I had a bad relationship. Me and my dad didn't really have a good relationship until I was about 27 years old. So, but that was because of pride. I didn't learn anything from it, so I was failing in my father-son relationship. So, as a drummer, I probably failed for the first 5 months, but I kept going. So that's another key is keep on going. You may fail, but just keep on getting up and keep on going. I know you probably feel, if you're failing right now, you probably feel like, man, I'm never going to get out of this. Learn from those mistakes and stop repeating them so you're not feeling that way. Keep on going, pushing yourself. Learn from those mistakes. Grow a passion for whatever you're doing and keep on going. Those are some of the things I learned from my failures. Is that I got to keep on learning. Whether it's financial, physical, fitness. The first 3 years I was probably having a hard time gaining muscle, but I learned from those mistakes as well. When I was 14, I didn't really get results maybe for the first 2 years that weren't noticeable to me. But then I started reading more and more magazines. Now, I can help people get muscle in maybe like the first 3 months because of my failures. My brother, I had him gain results in the first month with all my failures, the secrets that I taught him that I have learned from. So keep on learning from your mistakes, your failures, and keep on learning. Never say you're not a failure and don't say you are a failure, but just learn from them. If anyone says they have never failed, they're lying. But only we can control our failures, and only we can control what we can control. So just keep on learning. I have faith that people can no longer be failures and be students in life. Someday you'll be a mentor if you keep on improving. So everybody, only we can control our narrative. So I want you to control your narrative.